What drives a mother to poison her own children with salt? How does a sweet-faced nurse become a silent killer in the night? And what makes the quietest woman in the village the most feared? These aren't twisted plots from a crime novel. These are real women, real crimes, real victims, and all of it happened in the UK. In 1991, the small paediatric ward of Grantham and Kesteven Hospital in Lincolnshire became the hunting ground of a woman who was supposed to protect life. Beverly Allitt, a 22-year-old nurse, was known for her calm demeanor and her gentle care, but behind her white uniform hid something far more sinister. Within just 59 days, 4 children were dead. Another 9 suffered unexplained respiratory failures, seizures, and cardiac arrests. She injected insulin, potassium, and even air bubbles into the veins of her young patients. Allitt wasn't motivated by money or revenge. Psychiatrists later diagnosed her with Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a psychological disorder that drove her to create crime just to become the hero. She was sentenced to 13 life terms, and even today, the thought of her walking into a room is enough to send a chill down any parent's spine. Though this case unfolded across the Atlantic, it has deep ties to the UK, because Lacey Spears was obsessed with British parenting culture. She mimicked UK mummy bloggers, idolized British motherhood, and weaponized that image. Spears poisoned her 5-year-old son with lethal amounts of salt, not all at once, but slowly. Over time, documenting his decline in emotional blog posts. "Prayers for my sweet Garnett," she would write, while secretly feeding him through a G-tube filled with high sodium concoctions. In her mind, she wasn't a killer. She was a grieving mother, earning sympathy, followers, attention. This digital age crime reflects a terrifying intersection of psychology and performance, a modern evil, born of screens and validation. Let's rewind the clock to the 1800s. Victorian England. The name Mary Ann Cotton once echoed in whispers through every coal town in the northeast. Her weapon was arsenic. Her motive, insurance. Married 4 times. Each husband died mysteriously, along with 11 of her 13 children. Neighbors began to wonder, why does everyone close to Mary die? Exhumations told the truth. All poisoned. Mary's calm, motherly smile concealed one of the most prolific female serial killers in UK history. Before she was hanged in 1873, her final words were simply, "I am not guilty." But 21 graves told a different story. Peterborough, 2013. A quiet housing estate, a wheelie bin left out a little too long. Inside, the body of a man, then another, and another. Joanna Dennehy had murdered 3 men, stabbed them with what she described as pleasure and purpose. She even laughed while reenacting the attacks for police. Psychopath sadist, a woman who wanted infamy. She once told a friend she didn't want to be boring. She wanted to be like Bonnie and Clyde, but her cruelty wasn't cinematic. It was brutal, real, unrelenting. She remains one of the few British women ever sentenced to a full life term, with no possibility of parole. What ties these women together? They're not connected by geography, nor by age. They didn't all act out of hatred, or even personal gain. Some were driven by illness, some by power, and some by a chilling emptiness. Studies show that while men commit the majority of violent crimes, when women do, it's often more personal, more premeditated, and more psychologically disturbing. From Victorian poisoners to modern manipulators, the UK has seen its share of women who crossed every moral line. But here's the question that keeps us up at night. How many more walk among us, unseen, until it's too late? They looked like nurses, like mothers, like the girl next door. But behind the eyes, behind the smiles, there was something else, something evil. So next time someone says she doesn't look like a killer, remember this video. If you want more real-life crime stories that chill you to the bone, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The darkest stories are often the most human. Let us know in the comments, which story disturbed you the most? Monsters aren't always born. Sometimes they're made. Subscribe for more chilling crime stories.